140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Bartons.
At Glensane, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Welcome into NEA Sports Network Game of the Week. Tonight we have a 5A East Conference matchup between the Valley View Blazers and the Paragould Rams. We're here tonight on the campus of Paragould High School, and first we'll start with the visitors. Mr. Randy Coleman, what are your thoughts on the Blazers so far after their first 3 games of the season?
Well, I think both teams really do some things well, and there's some things that I'm concerned about. Paragould has changed offenses a little bit. They're doing more of what we're familiar with the Southside Southerners. You know, it's a wing tee out of the shotgun. You'll see a lot of pulling guards. You'll see a lot of power action. They will try to mix in the pass. I think it's going to be very important for them to control the clock and to tackle well defensively, because Valley View has a definite speed advantage.
Yes, sir, and the Rams undefeated at 3-0. We kind of saw the same story last year. The Rams came into Valley View undefeated, had all the confidence in the world. I mean, that game ended up being a torrential downpour, terrible conditions. Valley View got the win 49-0, but how are you looking, how do you think this game will play out here tonight?
Well, we got great weather here tonight. So, Valley View over the course of the non-conference schedule has really relied heavily on Carter Wallace. And the horizontal passing game from Taylor Heineman and a lot of different receivers. Levi Manning has started to emerge as kind of the go-to guy, the deep threat. Kamarion Davis is another weapon that they have. But this this offense for Valley View is going to be Carter Wallace. He's an excellent, fundamentally sound running back with great size and speed. I think he's going to be, the key to the game. But then defensively, and I think the strength of Valley View is their linebacking core. Ryder Wooten is one of the better players that you're going to see if you watch high school football this year. And I think that linebacker core around Ryder Wooten will be tough for Paragould. They're really going to have to control the clock, really kind of watch the play clock and roll it down.
Yep, and thank you, Mr. Coleman, and we'll come back right after this. You're watching Valley View at Paragould on the NEA Sports Network.
Now, the Coaches Show on NEA Sports Network.
Here with Randy Phillips in our pregame Coaches Show. Coach, first off, congratulations on a great start to the season, 3-0. Talk to us a little bit about the success you guys have had so far.
Well, appreciate that. We started last year 3-0, and this year started out 3-0. Feels a little bit different. We're scoring more points, a little more multiple on what we're doing. Defense was big in Manila coming out against them. Defense played really well. And they've done well the past 2 weeks. Kind of a bend, don't break mentality, but I like where we are right now.
So I want to talk about things on offense first. Reed, your son, is the quarterback. Just talk to him a little bit. And one thing that, when you think about Paragould, you think about a running game. But he said that, y'all are going to throw the ball more this year. So talk to us just a little bit about what things look like on offense.
Last year we got in some situations where we needed to throw the ball and we couldn't. And that's something we focused on as a coaching staff this offseason, is just being intentional about throwing the football and, kind of fitting in with what players we have. We know we got some pretty good skill guys, so it's just something we're going to just continue to work on. We're still want to run the ball 75-80% of the time, but the difference this year is we want to be able to throw it when we want to throw it, not just when we're forced to. So, I like where we are right now with that also. Reed and Avery has both done a good job first 3 games, and having two quarterback system is it's worked out really well for us, and I hope it continues.
Okay, and just as far as formation, what you guys will line up in, what's that going to look like?
We're always going to have a tight end and a wing or an H-back, depending on the personnel. We're going to have 1 to 2 receivers, which is a little bit different last year. Last year we had 1 receiver, and we had the same amount of skill guys, but just in a little different formation. We were bunched more last year, and we're a little more open this year.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned the 2 guys that will play quarterback, but talk about your other skill positions.
At our fullback position, we've got 3 guys that have been working there: Ian Estrada, Markul Atai, and ZK Lanage. Those guys, they haven't really had a, we've just kind of evened the carries out or monged them, so no back has really had a big game. I think ZK had 75 yards or so rushing against Hoxie. Markul had a good rushing game against Kennett. It's just one of those things. They bring little different thing to the table, so we're just going to rely on those 3 guys. Our wing backs or slot receivers, Jack Starnes and Zach Flowers, 2 really good guys. Brandon Lopez is getting some reps there also. At X receiver, our split in, Austin Bird and Isaiah Flowers and Amari Williams are all at that position. They all bring something a little bit different. Austin has great route running. Isaiah is just a tall, fast receiver. And Amari probably has the best hands on the team. He does a really good job catching the ball. Our H-back, right now, Rayton Yasal is a little bit banged up. So Dylan Burgess is playing some H-back. He'll start against Valley View. He's a bigger back. He's just learning. He moved in this summer, learning the offense. He's learning fast, so we're excited about what he's going to bring. He's just a sophomore, a big kid. And also Josh Ward, a senior. He's another H-back that's going to contribute. Offensive line, Lane Loftus is our center. He's done a good job so far and been consistent on snaps. This week we're going to start Zayden Burgess at one of our guards. Van Cox plays a lot of defense. We're trying to give him a little spell. Then at our strong guard, Tyler Ray is going to start there this week. He's a little bigger guy. He was playing just defense, but we're going to need him on the offensive line some, so he's going to help us out. Anulis Clanton is going to be our outside tackle, and inside tackle is another Hancock, White Hancock. We've got 2 Burgesses and a couple Hancocks.
Yeah, I've noticed some repetitive last names in there already. So.
Got a bunch of brothers and family members. Then Hunter Burks, our tight end, he had I think 1 touchdown catch against Hoxie. It was a big catch. So that should round out our offense.
And then let's switch over to the defensive side. How will you guys line up, and just talk to me a little bit about personnel.
We're going to be a 4-3 team. Coach Lovell's our defensive coordinator, and they do a great job. And I don't get into defense. I know what we're doing, but I know Valley View, they're multiple, so it's going to be hard to say we're going to just stop the run or stop the pass. They can do it both, and they do it both well. So we've got to do a good job slowing them down. But we're, I guess a bend don't break mentality is what we've had so far. We've given up some plays, trying to keep it in front and make offenses drive the field and just make them snap the ball multiple times.
You mentioned Valley View just a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about maybe game plan going into this, what that's going to look like on Friday night.
We've got to be able to throw the ball. Last year we had some pretty good run plays against them, didn't throw the ball, threw a pick 6 against them. Of course, it was that hurricane game when the hurricane was coming through and it was windy. It wasn't ideal. So, this week looks better. We want to be able to throw the ball. We've got some things we think we can do. Just got to execute and give our quarterback time to throw the ball. Defensive line is really good, so we've got to be aware of them and make sure we get them blocked. And they don't blitz a whole lot. They may blitz more against us, but something we worked on and try to be prepared for. And the outside linebackers do a good job of reading runner pass and getting to their spot. So we just got to do a good job executing. Offensively, we've got to keep the ball from them. Can't turn it over, can't have penalties, got to keep drives going.
So, we talk about this 3-0 start, how it feels different, you say. The importance of just keeping this momentum going. Obviously, this is a tough task to open up conference play against a team that's had the success they've had. Now, they lost a lot of players last year, and they're, I think, trying to find their identity as well. But, you know, your focus is obviously Paragould football. So how have you talked to those guys about keeping the momentum going and having a strong conference run?
You know, I don't want us to put everything into this game. I told the kids, I was like, I don't know if we're good enough to beat Valley View. I was just, you know, upfront with them. We haven't seen what we can do against a team like Valley View. I don't know if we're good enough. And until we beat teams like Valley View or Nettleton, then, you know, we're going to be mentioned at the bottom of the conference, as we should be. We don't have a lot of tradition here, and that's something that our kids need to understand, that, you know, it can be an advantage for us when teams may take us lightly. You know, and I'm sure that Coach Cockrell is going to have those guys ready and, you know, not overlooking us, but we feel like that we're building a culture where, and I've seemed to feel it this year, where we feel like we can win and we can do enough things to win ball games. And you know, that's just what I told them. Don't go into this game, and I don't have any kind of doubts that or any kind of reservations that they're going to go in this game scared. I don't think our guys are going to do like that. I think our guys are going to be ready to play. I think they're going to keep fighting. And just knowing these kids for the past 3 years, they're not the type to just quit. You know, I think we've got some good leaders who want to keep us in the game and keep us motivated.
You know, I interviewed 3 of your players just a second ago, and they talked about, you know, kind of the same thing you were hitting on and building a culture and that sort of thing. But just, you know, when you've had a program that has struggled, it's a progression. And Reed had mentioned, you know, last year we won 3 games. In previous seasons it was 1 win a year, you know. So taking that next step, and I think a big next step could be, aside from, you know, maybe finishing 500 or over 500, is being a 3 or 4 seed and making the playoffs. So, you know, what would that do, you think, to help the culture of this program?
You know, I think it'd be huge to get that, you know, one of those top 4 playoff seeds, and I think it's possible this year. And that's something I've told the kids. I don't know if we can beat Valley View, but I feel like we can compete for the top 4. But Valley View, you know, that's going to be a good test to see where we are and give us a good measuring stick. You know, but for our program, it would make it worth it to the kids, that they see that all this hard work that we've asked of them, that it's worth it. And going to a playoff is so much different. It's just a different atmosphere when you know that you're one of the top 4 teams in the conference and one of the few teams in the state that get to go to the playoffs. And I've experienced that, and these guys haven't experienced it. So it's something that we try to just keep enticing them with, that, you know, the understanding that once we get there, it's going to be great. And we just got to put in the work and trust the coaching staff that we're going to get you there.
As far as we continue to talk about building this culture here at Paragould, as far as numbers go, what does that look like at the senior high and at the junior high level?
We've got like 46 in senior high, which is a little bit higher than last year. Our junior high, 8th and 9th grade is around 55 or so, and our 7th grade is around 30.
Okay.
You know, and so we're trying to, our ideal goal is to keep 20 per class, or, you know, get 20 per grade, keep those out. That gives us 60 in senior high, 40 in 8th and 9th, and which is not, you know, we won't be, you know, comfortable with that, but it'd be better than where we have been in the past.
Right.
I think we were around 35 last year, so, and we've got some small classes. This current 8th grade class is a big class. So that's going to help our numbers in the future. But 10th grade class, or the 11th grade class we have right now is kind of small. So the next couple of years we'll see our numbers rise.
Okay. Well, Coach, I want to wish you best of luck Friday against Valley View. Appreciate you taking the time to do our pregame coaches show.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded yet again General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Bartons.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Glen we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't, create filtered water for you and your plants, or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish, connect all your devices, and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better, so get in touch and be a Ritter Go-Getter.
For 140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Bartons for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Bartons is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Bartons.
At Glen we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
Local basketball star Austin Reeves is part of the Central Dealerships team. And just like Austin, we want you to join our team as well. So score big with your new or used vehicle from Central today. Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. We have the perfect ride waiting for you and exceptional service. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today.
When you ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, two of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
Welcome back to the broadcast booth here on NEA Sports Network as we just had the coin toss. Valley View, the visiting team, won the toss and elected to receive. And now the Paragould Rams are running out onto the field, so we're just about ready to get things started here on NEA Sports Network.
Yeah, Tyson, this is all the auditions are over. Non-conference is in the past, and now you're playing for conference championships and playoff seedings, and this is where it gets fun.
The last few years, they're looking to repeat as conference champs as they did last year as they're about to take the field here. But really great atmosphere and great weather for Friday night football.
There's nothing better than Friday night football. And, you know, you got it here in Paragould, and Blazers start on the road. And wonderful Friday night. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good chess match early, and let's see if Paragould can match up with the Blazers' power and speed that they've shown throughout the non-conference season. And let's go.
Yes, sir. You know, I mentioned that Valley View choose to receive at the coin toss, but you've got a guy like Parker King who's going to make his way back tonight. He was dealing with that injury against West Memphis, but he should be healthy tonight. I believe he will start on that kick return unit, and he's really been a weapon back there, especially last year later during that playoff run.
Yeah, well, no doubt. You know, the big return against Morrilton that you know, really proved pivotal to get them into the semifinals, and you know, him and Kamarion Davis back deep, and you know, it'll be interesting to see if Paragould elects to kick it deep to him or try to do something, you know, to pooch and get a fair catch, or even gets aggressive and tries the onside kick. We'll see here pretty soon.
Yeah, and Parker King set up near the 26-yard line. Davis further back around the 15. Blazers in their white tops, blue pants, and Paragould in their red tops and blue pants.
Yeah, I think you're seeing Coach Cockrell's guessing that they're going to pooch to the side, so they've got Parker set up in that area.
Looks like we're ready to get things underway here in Paragould, Arkansas. Kickoff goes short, like you predicted, right to Manning, so the Blazers will set up shop at the 40-yard line to get things started.
Yeah, they start with great field position at the 40-yard line, and, you know, it's going to be fun to watch. I think Coach Marty Riley, the offensive coordinator of Valley View, is one of the good play callers in the state of Arkansas in high school football, and and he's got a great weapon in Carter Wallace. It's going to be fun to see what Coach Riley dials up. And here's the deal. I think Paragould has got a lot of experience back, but they're going to have to tackle well in the secondary.
Yeah, for sure. Valley View definitely has a lot of explosive playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. You got King and Manning to Heinemann's right, Carter Wallace on his left hip, and Davis out far, and they go with the jet sweep to King. King makes his way across the 40 up to about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I think you see the jet sweep early. I think Coach Riley's, similar to a boxer. He's going to work the body horizontally, and I think you're going to see a big shot deep early right here.
Yeah, and we'll see what they do here. Two receivers bunch to the right, Wallace to the right. Now they do the jet sweep to Davis. Davis has an opening down across the 40, 30, 20, 10, all the way to the end zone, and the Blazers are on the board first. 6-0 Valley View. Blazers score in just 38 seconds.
Yeah, and just the same play the other way. Coach Riley gets them out leveraged. Kamarion Davis uses speed in the secondary. And that's one thing that I when I was watching Paragould this week, getting ready for this game, the speed in the secondary is going to be an issue for Paragould because Valley View has so many playmakers.
Yes, sir, and Valley View lost a very good kicker in Brody Dix last year, but Troy Dale replaces him this year, and his extra point is perfect right through the middle. He's done a great job with that, but we're going to take it to break. You're watching Valley View and Paragould on the NEA Sports Network.
140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glen Sain, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Welcome back outside the broadcast booth. Blazers kick off now to the Rams, kind of a similar pooch kick like Paragould, but this one gets to the 30-yard line, so that's where Paragould will start their first offensive drive.
Now, tonight with Paragould, you're going to see 2 quarterbacks and 2 different varieties. Reed Phillips is kind of more the running quarterback. Avery Deering is a big, tall guy with a good arm and going to pass it, but they're going to rely a lot on Z.K. Laneige, and they're going to have to establish the ground game early against this vaunted, linebacking core of Valley View in order to get the play clock on their side.
Yep, and running back on his left hip. We got a flag here early. Someone jumped, and we'll see.
Looked like Luke Herringer got a little bit antsy right there on the snap count.
Yeah, Luke Herringer, the junior, really doing some good things for Valley View as well at that edge spot so far this year, but that helps Paragould get you 5 yards closer to a first down, so they'll start off now with 1st and 5 from their own 35. One receiver split out wide to the left, one to the right. Running back on the left hip. Takes the snap, hands it off. Running back gets forward for about 3 to 4 yards, close to that first down. We'll see where they spot him.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of odd formations. Saying odd, they're going to use 2 receivers typically, and they'll bring a tackle over to get an unbalanced type look with a tight end and try to get some, numbers advantage on one side or the other.
Phillips still in the game. 2 receivers now out to the left, takes the snap, hands it off, and met in a hurry, and that's Holden Murphy getting in the backfield for that tackle for loss.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Coach Wilbanks and the defensive staff of Valley View have done a good job of getting the front 7 of Valley View, to be really a force. Those down 3, and I'll talk all night about how good I think the linebackers are for Valley View, but Holden Murphy right there gets penetration, makes a stop, Now you force Paragould's hand a little bit and see what they're going to do with the long yardage.
2nd and about 14. Quarterback drops back, has a receiver. Valley View makes the tackle near the chains, and that's Phillips' pass to Isaiah Flowers, so that's good for a first down.
Yeah, and that's just a nice little throw and catch right there by Reed Phillips. You know, he puts it on the money. They get the chains moving. Now, you know, it really works into Paragould's favor as far as, you know, controlling the clock, because now they've crossed the 50 and they can get into 4-down territory and really use the clock to their advantage.
Phillips still in the game for Paragould. Chipman in the backfield with him on his left hip. They're going to hand it off to him, and the Blazers swarm them. That's going to be another tackle for loss as linebackers got back there to make the tackle.
Yeah, Luke Herringer and Holden Murphy again on the play. And, you know, now again Paragould's in 2nd and 12. And, you know, it could be one of those nights where if first down is not an advantage for Paragould, it's going to force the hand of Paragould to put the ball in the air a little bit more than maybe they wanted.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there in the backfield. They'll send 2 receivers to the left. One guy on the left hip. They'll do the jet sweep. Missed tackle by Valley View across the 50 near the 45, so about a gain of 7. They get back the negative yardage they lost, and now will have the ball at Valley View's 45. But brings up a 3rd and medium now for the Rams.
Yeah, just a nice little play. I mean, you know, you've got the tight formation with the wing and tight in the alignment. You know, really it's just outside zone if you were looking from a traditional set in the backfield, but they do it from the wing. They get a little bit of leverage. Now they get themselves in a manageable third down. You know, really for Paragould right here, they need to put themselves in a position where 4th down is manageable and makeable.
Takes a snap, has a receiver to his right, but just overthrows. That's going to be Starnes, who that pass was intended for, so incomplete. And the Blazers force a 4th down, and here comes the punt unit for Paragould.
Yeah, you know, great play concept. It looks like kind of a smash route where you've got a guy running a corner route deep and a guy in the flats. He just overthrows the flat receiver just a little bit, forces a punt.
So Avion Jones and Will Finley back deep for the Blazers. Deering back for the punt. He's going to punt it to Avion Jones. Jones gets it inside his 10, makes a move, going to the outside, and he's got some grass in front of him. He's ran over near the boundary, out of bounds. Looks like they'll spot him at the 25. So about a 17-yard punt return there for Avion Jones. So decent field position now for the Blazers. They'll start their 2nd drive of the game at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see right here what Coach Riley decides to do. You know, they ran the jet sweep twice. You know, same play, just both directions. I think at some point with the safeties playing about 10 yards deep, I think you're going to see Coach Riley attack vertically. But I do think, you know, you run 2 plays without Carter Wallace touching the ball, and I think you're going to get some Carter Wallace soon.
Heineman takes the snap, and that's exactly what happens. Carter Wallace to the outside, past the 30, now near midfield. He's going to be ran out of bounds at the 45-yard line. They're going to say the 43, so a gain of 18 for Carter Wallace, and you called it. They gave it to their other explosive player, Carter Wallace.
Well, you know, what I think's different about this Valley View team, in the past they've had that dynamic playmaker at quarterback. Now they're run heavy and linebacker heavy. I think they're more that traditional power type team.
Oh, and Heineman tried to go deep. Looked like it was stripped from behind. I'm not sure if they'll call that incomplete or a fumble, but Wallace got back on top of it.
And fortunate for Paragould, Kamarion Davis was running free down the hash to the far side. And if Taylor has time to throw that, he might have a big connection there.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to go deep. Just not enough time as Heineman sends Manning and Davis in motion, bunched with Parker King. Wallace to the left. They're going to hand it off to Wallace. Good block on the outside by the Blazers, and he'll get back up to the 44-yard line. So a gain of about 6. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 9 now for the View.
Yeah, this is where, you know, over the last couple weeks with Searcy and West Memphis, you've seen Levi Manning kind of, get himself really involved in the offense. And I think, Taylor Heineman right here, who's proved to be a comparable passer, I think you might see Levi in the passing attack right here.
The receivers to the left, one to the right. Heineman drops back, goes deep for Parker King, and just overthrown. He had a little bit of an opening, but good stop there by the Paragould defense, forced the Blazers to punt.
Yeah, Jack Starnes right there, who's a good player for Paragould, number 1. Good coverage right there, little hands on both sides where they're working to try to get position to fight for the ball. And Paragould forces a punt.
Yeah, and Levi Manning will do the punting duties this year for the Blazers. He's really done a good job so far.
He really has.
Looks like the Rams have one guy back to return. That's a high punt. Bounces near the 40. That'll go out of bounds, I believe, at the 41-yard line. So great field position now for the Rams for their second drive of the game.
Yeah, we'll see what Paragould can do right here. They really have to establish first down. They've got to get themselves in a second manageable. The first 3 second downs that they've had have all been second and 10-plus yards, and it really forces your hand. You really are forced to do one thing and one thing only.
Right. So now 2 receivers to the left, one back in the backfield. Paragould from their own 41. And they're going to hand off. That's a fumble. And Silas Thomas grabbed it, essentially. We'll see who has the ball. They're going to say Valley View. So big-time play as Avion Jones came out from the bottom of the pile. So Blazers get the ball right back.
Yeah, that's just a little, unfortunate situation. Avery Deering comes in as quarterback right there. And he, it's looking like it's an RPO. He's reading the defense while he's, got the ball in the mesh position. Probably a little bit too far away from the running back in that position. Forces a fumble. Valley View recovers.
So Heineman now in the gun. Wallace behind him. They're going to go the handoff to Wallace. Good stop there by Paragould right near the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Joshua Ward on the stop.
Yeah, Josh Ward did a good job of reading that counter action back toward the field and gets in there and makes a great play. Now it's second and long for Valley View.
So now Heineman sends 3 receivers to his left. Manning here on the right, isolated by himself. Going to do quick screen action to Davis. Davis makes a couple defenders miss, dives forward. He's going to be near the first down around the 30-yard line.
One place I think Valley View does have an advantage in this game, they really like the horizontal passing attack where they throw out with those now screens or spot screens. Paragould in the previous games leading up have not tackled well in space. Right there you see Kamarion Davis break some tackles and get themselves in a third down and manageable.
Heineman takes the snap, hands it to Wallace. Wallace gets forward, plenty for the first down, just inside the 25-yard line. So it looks like Heineman goes off the field now, and looks like we're going to get to see sophomore Barrett Mallett for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Tyson, we could see, 5 quarterbacks tonight play with the 2 that Paragould has and the 3 that Valley View has shown throughout the course of the non-conference.
Bunch near the line of scrimmage. King by himself to the right. Mallett takes the run himself, gets about 5 or so yards up to the 19. So I really think most of the time that Mallett comes in, you should be expecting run because he's mainly Valley View's running quarterback.
Yeah, and I think, Valley View calls that their nasty set, and they get tied in heavy, and it's a good little set for them.
So Mallett takes the snap, looks right. He's got a receiver open, and there goes the flag. So that was on the near side of the field. I'm not sure if that official will call pass interference or what the call will be, but we'll see.
They line up Kamarion Davis tight right there, almost in a tight end position, put him one-on-one with the quarterback. In a ball that's underthrown where the corner is in trail position, it's almost a no-win situation for the corner because he has no idea where the ball is, and when the receiver comes back to it, it usually ends up in a PI.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what the officials decided here. And it looks like they're going to call something about Valley View.
That's an unsportsmanlike call. I really have no clue what could have happened. It must have been in the interior of the offensive line.
It had to be, and it wasn't anything after the play because they threw it during the play. So,
well, and they keep it third down, so it must have been after the play. So there's no PI called, and now Valley View's 3rd and 22 from their 36-yard line.
Yeah, so you think they definitely have to pass it here. Not going to rely on the run game because that's long field goal for high school, but we'll see what the Blazers can do as they send 3 receivers to the right. Davis by himself to the left. Wallace in the backfield with Heineman. Heineman takes the snap, rolls out to the right, a little bit of pressure. And the receiver's there to make the catch. That's
Austin Berry.
Austin Berry, the senior. So
just a little flood concept right there, where you got 3 levels of routes being run. Austin Berry's that intermediate out-breaking route there. Nice throw and catch. And now they get themselves from the 26-yard line, a 4th and 10. Probably going to see some sort of one-on-one with the receiver and try to get a jump ball.
Yep, Berry's still in the game. Him and Manning, Dynaman's right. King and Davis to the left. They motion across Manning. They're going to throw it deep now to Berry. Berry diving attempt to make the catch, incomplete. He had him beat, but just a little overthrown. So turnover on downs, and Rams will take the ball back. So you got to be pleased if you're Paragould.
Yeah, I think you do have to be pleased if you're Coach Phillips right there, especially after the turnover to, get the ball back, especially when you give an explosive Valley View offense the ball inside your own territory. Not a bad throw, really good route, but great coverage there by Paragould. That ball was going to have to be perfectly thrown and just a little bit overthrown there.
Phillips in the gun. Nobody in the backfield with him. 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Phillips takes the snap. Tries to run and met immediately by Ryder Wooten. And Mr. Coleman, I know you're very high on Ryder Wooten at the linebacker position.
I've been involved with football for over 25 years, and I've seen a lot of football players, and Ryder Wooten is a guy that I just love watching play. And I'm an offensive guy, but when you watch Ryder Wooten in between snaps, directing traffic, and then the way he plays, his instincts on defense, I think he's one fantastic football player.
Phillips in the gun. Pitch forward. Herringer there with Wooten to make the stop. It's going to be a short gain of about 2 or 3 yards, so now going to bring up 3rd and long for the Rams.
Yeah, and that's in the old traditional days when you were running the wing T, which this shotgun formation is a variation of the wing T, that would have been a double handoff, but you fake action one way, get the inside trap back the other way. Just a nice little run there. Puts themselves in a 3rd and 7, very manageable.
Phillips takes the snap, fakes the handoff, ball's out once again. We'll see who has it. Looks like Paragould fortunately fell back on top of it. And they did.
Unfortunately, right there, Ryder Wooten's right there to get on the ball and just goes right over it. Paragould gets back on it. They're going to force a punt, though.
And then was that another RPO that they had a mistake on?
I think it's more of a traditional little play action pass. Just you're trying to ride that running back to get that action and then come up with the pass. And just a little, mishandling in the ball, the ball right there.
Low snap, gets the punt off, right to Avion Jones. Jones makes a move, makes one defender miss, gets to the sideline. He's drug out of bounds, plenty of flags in, but he got to about Paragould's 47, but we'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, from the position of where that flag is thrown, it's difficult to say what it is, but I think it's got to be on Valley View. I don't know if it's a block in the back. I think it would be hard to have a block in the back in that area. But but that's what it is.
Yep, you're exactly right. So back up the Blazers. They'll now start from inside their own territory.
And right now, both teams are, kind of uncharacteristically sloppy.
Oh, yeah.
And, conference season is here, and the stakes are a little bit higher. Right now, they're just a little sloppy. Hopefully he'll clean it up.
Heineman in the gun along with Wallace. That's who they'll hand it off to. He sheds off one defender, makes his way toward midfield. He's going to be tackled at about the 47-yard line, so good first down gain there for Wallace and the Blazers.
Yeah, and I don't want to jinx a young man, but, the one thing that's super impressive about Carter Wallace, to go along with size and speed, fundamentally as a running back, he is very impressive. You'll see he carries that ball high and tight. His wrist is always above the elbow. He's protecting that ball. He does a great job.
They go back to him. He makes his way through up the middle around, going to be at around the 50-yard line, so a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up third and very manageable, third and about a long 4 for the Blazers.
Yeah, 3rd and 3, and I think, in this situation, watching, Valley View throughout the non-conference season, you for sure have the horizontal passing attack. You've got Carter Wallace as a threat, but this is an area where they like to run Taylor Heineman.
Heineman in the gun. You called it. Fake the handoff to Wallace. Heineman bursts free. Has some green grass in front of him out down to the 35. So good quarterback keeper there by Heineman.
Yeah, and that's it's a difficult play to defend because you're giving action to your bell cow going one way and you're running quarterback counter back the other way. It's just a really good football play. Taylor does a good job of getting in there behind his lineman and then getting in the opening, making a play.
Game clock down to about 30. They're going to go outside to King. King gets past one defender, gets wrestled down near about the 26-yard line. We'll see if they hurry up and snap it. They got about 19 seconds. See what the Blazers do. Bunch formation to the right. Wallace up closer to the line of scrimmage. They're going to hand it off to Kamarion Davis as he's tackled for a loss. So last play of the first quarter, Davis is tackled for a loss, but your Blazers lead the Rams 7-0, and that's the end of the first quarter. We're back with the second quarter right after this on the NEA Sports Network.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on NEA Sports Network. So kind of a uncharacteristic first quarter, only one score on the board, and that was Valley View breaking the ice and getting a touchdown. They lead 7-0. Now flip direction. Now Valley View will have the ball at Paragould's 29 with third and very manageable.
Yeah, I think you'll see Carter Wallace right here because you're in 2-down territory.
And they jump. So Valley View gets them with the snap count, and that's going to be a first down for the Blazers. You see some guys do some push-ups, kind of be more disciplined next time, I guess, but free first down for the View.
Up downs for jumping off sides there, and that gives Valley View the first down nearing the red zone.
So the Blazers have the ball in the red zone. Heineman in the gun. Wallace in the backfield with him. Manning by himself on the left, 3 receivers in a bunch formation on the right. He pitches it to Wallace. Wallace gets to the outside, stays on his feet, keeps running, and he gets forward to about the 17-yard line. Really good job there by Wallace avoiding a couple of Rams defenders, and great gain on first down.
Yeah, great job right there by Taylor Heineman of forcing the defensive end to commit to him, and he pitches on the speed option. And then you just see the speed and power of Carter Wallace. Paragould actually played it pretty well, but he just runs through the first tackle and gets a gain of 8.
So now Berry and King to Heineman's right. Wallace in the backfield once again. That's who they're going to hand it off to, and Paragould read that one perfectly.
Yeah, I will tell you that, watching Paragould the last few years, and we all know that they've struggled some. I like what Coach Phillips is doing with this program. That there's a physicality level that's improved. Obviously, kids have bought into what Coach Phillips is preaching. Let's see if they can get a big stop right here on third down.
Manning out to the left. Heineman rolls to his right, makes the defender miss. Has some room, gets away across the end zone, touchdown, Valley View, as Taylor Heineman keeps it himself and gets into the blue painted area to put 6 on the board for the Blazers.
Similar action as the speed option. You got him, attacking the outside of the defensive end, but this time instead of Carter Wallace being the pitch man, he's the lead blocker. Taylor Heineman makes one man miss and then gets to the paint.
Heineman with his first touchdown of the ball game. Troy Dale now on to attempt the extra point for Valley View. And that's up, and that is good. So Troy Dale 2 for 2 on extra points for the night. And now we're going to send it to break, and we'll be right back with more Friday Night Football on the NEA Sports Network.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded yet again General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football on the NEA Sports Network. Blazers have the 14-0 lead with 10:44 remaining here in the second quarter as they go for the pooch kick, and no fair catch. So Rams returner tries to make it across out by the 30, but Silas Thomas there on the coverage team to stop him dead in his tracks. So Paragould will set up shop at their own 31. Mr. Coleman, the Blazers kind of off to a slow start, also were the Rams, but the Blazers are up 14-0, and if you're the Rams, you've got to get some kind of points on the board because you cannot fall too far behind this Valley View team.
Yeah, I think going, into the game, Coach Phillips' goal had to be let's get it to the fourth quarter with the score in reach where we can, see what happens. And right now, they need to make it to halftime within 2 scores.
They're going to go the handoff to number 20. That is Marcool J. Atea, but you know who? Ryder Wooten in the backfield for the stop.
Yeah, and Ryder Wooten just, we talked about it earlier, just instincts galore. And you know what? I bet if you got Ryder Wooten in like a contest of let's see who can run the fastest and jump the farthest and all that, he may not, be the top, but instinctually and the way he plays football, he's as fast as anybody on the football field.
Pass out to the far side, and that's complete to number 2, Zachariah Flowers. So that's a good gain there on 2nd and long. Going to bring up 3rd and very manageable for the Rams, about 3rd and short 3.
And we see, Avery Deering really has a good arm. Big 6'4" kid, great throw and catch right there. Let's see if they can convert a first down.
2 receivers to the right, 1 running back in the backfield. He stopped near the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot him. Might be they're going to say move the chains. So good job by the Rams there, executing on 3rd down with a short run to pick up the first.
Well, as a former coach, steer some things the way they want to. In that situation, I don't think he makes the line to gain. If anything, you probably need to measure it, but they give him the first down. Good for Paragould to keep the clock moving.
Paragould now with a different look. 2 receivers staggered here on the right, 1 running back in the backfield as they'll fake the handoff. Pressure by Herringer. Deering escapes the pocket, and there for the tackle, Silas Thomas and Ryder Wooten. He'll gain a couple there on first down.
Yeah, and I've talked about Ryder Wooten, but I think the entire linebacking core for Valley View with Silas Thomas and Luke Herringer, Rylan McNamee, the entire linebacking core is super solid, and I would argue they're the entire strength of the team.
Deering now still in the game for the Rams. He hands it off to Atea. Both linebackers, McNamee and Wooten, there to make the stop. So a gain of 2 or 3. Brings up again, though, 3rd and manageable, like we talked about earlier. Just important for the Rams to get positive yardage on first down, makes the downs later on more manageable.
Yeah, and nearing midfield, Coach Phillips could have to come up with a big decision here in a minute to whether or not he's going to go for it. But, maintaining control of the ball is huge for Paragould to keep the ball away from the explosive Valley View offense.
Just under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Deering keeps it. He's pressured. Sidearm throw just high. Avion Jones over there on the coverage, and that pass was intended for Jaquez Starnes. So 4th and about 4, and we'll see what Coach Phillips decides to do.
Yeah, one thing I noticed in watching Paragould leading up to this game is Avery Deering does have a very strong arm, but he does throw a little sidearm, which, as a former guy who coached some quarterbacks, you'd like to keep that, that big, tall guy keeping the ball up high. Typically, the more over the top you are, the more accurate you're going to be.
Rams back to punt. It's going to be a shorter punt this time. Blazers steer clear. Paragould touches it at about the 39-yard line, so that's where the Blazers will set up now with the 2 touchdown lead over the Rams, so pretty decent field position once again for the View.
Yeah, and, it's hugely important right here for Paragould to get the Valley View offense off the field. If they stretch this to a 3-score lead, then I think it's going to be difficult for Paragould to come back. If they can keep it to a 2-score game, get it late into the third quarter, then, you can take your chances.
King and Davis to the left. They're going to throw it out to Davis. Davis makes 1 guy miss, makes 2 guys miss. Moving towards midfield, but he's going to be escorted out of bounds at around the 48-yard line. So a gain of 8, though, on first down. And like you said, the horizontal pass game, they go to Davis that time on the outside.
Yeah, another thing that, Paragould cannot miss tackles on this Valley View offense. Valley View's going to stretch it horizontally, but Paragould's got to come up and make tackles.
King to the right by himself. They're going to do jet sweep to Mallett. Mallett makes 1 guy miss and shoestring tackle there near the sticks. We'll see.
Now, according to the spot earlier for Paragould, it should be a first down.
And it is.
Barrett Mallett gets just enough to move the chains right there.
Blazers near midfield with the ball, driving. About 7 minutes to go now in the second quarter as they lead Paragould 14-0. Heineman in the gun. He's going to drop back and go deep for Davis in double coverage. Oh, and that's a hard landing, but good coverage there by Paragould to force the pass breakup.
Yeah, and that's not a bad ball by Taylor Heineman. He puts the ball high. You got the height advantage out there. Kamarion Davis on Jack Starnes. But Zach Flowers comes over from the safety position, gets just enough contact to knock that ball away.
So now 2nd and 10 for the View. Mallett still in the game. He's a very versatile playmaker, as well as Levi Manning. He's not on the field now, but 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Heineman takes the snap, throws it horizontally to Mallett, and that was a great play there by number 2, Zachariah Flowers. Read that one like a book.
And these are typically in an RPO you've got the run option, but the pass is going to be an intermediate variety. So 8 to 10 yards downfield. Valley View does a lot of RPO with stuff horizontal. I think right there you probably want to give that ball.
Looks like some more up downs for Paragould as they jump offside, so it gives the Blazers a free 5 yards on 3rd and 10. Make it 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and it's just self-inflicted wounds right here for Paragould is giving Valley View an advantage to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. Definitely on the Paragould side of the field, you can run the ball right here.
Heineman fakes the handoff, goes over the middle. Manning had plenty of space, but just overthrown just a little bit by Heineman. So
is giving Valley View an advantage to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. Definitely on the Paragould side of the field, you can run the ball right here.
Heineman fakes the handoff, goes over the middle.
Sneak him down the seam. That time Taylor just overthrew him a little bit.
3 receivers now to Heineman's right. Davis by himself on the near side here on the left. Wallace still in the backfield, 4th and about 5 now for the View. Heineman takes the snap out of the gun, rolls to his right. Has plenty of space in front of him. He's going to take off and run with it, and he's hit hard. And that's near the sticks, and here comes the flag. So I don't know if they're going to say here on the left. Wallace still in the backfield, 4th and about 5 now for the View. Heineman takes the snap out of the gun, rolls to his right. Has plenty of space in front of him.
It's so subjective but you're talking about player safety. You lead with the crown of the head. They're going to call targeting some, and unfortunately, that could turn a good play by that Paragould defender into a big first down for Valley View.
You're thinking that's what the call is. That was kind of a different one of those, though, because normally the ball carrier has his shoulders low to the ground. The defense comes in low to make the hit, but Heineman was pretty upright, so we'll see if that's what it is.
And that's what they're calling. They're calling targeting.
Yeah, and the Paragould crowd not too thrilled about that call. So what was a play made by the defense of Paragould, that helmet-to-helmet call will give the Blazers the ball just outside of the red zone. So they'll set up now at Paragould's 27. That's really a crucial penalty there because they had the chance to get the Blazers off the field.
Yeah, and you just hate it because you're teaching kids to be physical and be aggressive, and minuscule moments right there, and unfortunately he gets called for that penalty.
Heineman hands it off to Wallace. He just keeps going. Paragould had his jersey for a second, but he gets forward past the line of scrimmage for about 5 yards, and you can see Coach Phillips is not happy still with that call here on the near sideline.
And you just see the strength of Carter Wallace right there. And now you see Max Taylor looks like, well, no, they're going to that nasty package with Barrett Mallett at quarterback.
Mallett in the backfield. Blazers bring out the nasty package. Mallett goes to the right, has some space. Past the sticks. Here comes a flag. Mallett's into the end zone, but I'm not too sure that's going to be something on Valley View on that front.
Now you see Max Taylor looks like, well, no, they're going to that nasty package with Barrett Mallett at quarterback.
Mallett in the backfield. Blazers bring out the nasty package. Mallett goes to the right, has some space. Past the sticks. Here comes a flag. Mallett's into the end zone, but I'm not too sure.
Obligatory makeup call with the hold right here by the officials.
That's what the call is. So wipe that Mallett touchdown off the board. Back up the View about 10 yards. So from the spot of the foul, replay 2nd down. So still going to be about
basically you same down in distance, and you replay the down.
We'll see what Coach Riley draws up here. Mallett's still in the game, still have the nasty package, but King's out alone to the right. Mallett takes the snap. He looks to King, takes off running up the middle. Good job there by Paragould making the stop on Mallett. Mallett gains 1, maybe 2 yards there on 2nd down.
And that's, really, a lot of people call that super counter because you got 3 tight ends in the backfield with the a lot of people would say kind of a wildcat quarterback. You got an unbalanced line. You run back to the nub side of it with all three tight ends pulling.
Plays are still in the same package. Mallett looks to pass now. He doesn't have anything there. He's pressured. Takes off, runs around the near edge. He's going to get near the 11-yard line, so good job there by Mallett making something out of nothing.
You got an unbalanced line. You run back to the nub side of it with all three tight ends pulling.
Plays are still in the same package. Mallett looks to pass now. He doesn't have anything.
Runs away from that guy in the backfield and then uses his legs to gain the 12-yard gain to get a big first down. And now, Valley View's at the 13-yard line. New set of downs. 4:11 to go here in the first quarter.
Valley View in the driver's seat for sure here in the first half. King out to the right. Miscue on the snap, but Heineman has it and works his way towards the pylon, and he's in, but another flag from that official over there.
Valley View's at the 13-yard line. New set of downs. 4:11 to go here in the first quarter.
Valley View in the driver's seat for sure here in the first half. Miscue on the snap, but Heineman has it, works his way towards the pylon, and he's in, but another flag from that.
I don't know.
Second touchdown wiped off the board now for the View on this drive.
I just hate that call because you've got a receiver, working his tail off downfield, trying to give his quarterback space to get in the end zone, and they get a call for holding. Still first down.
Still first down, so Valley View and Taylor Heineman. We'll start now from the 15. Davis alone to the left, King to the right, and Manning. They're going to hand it off to Wallace. He works his way up the middle, makes two guys miss into the end zone. No flags, so Valley View into the end zone once again thanks to Carter Wallace.
Still first down.
Still first down, so Valley View and Taylor Heineman. We'll start now from the 15. Davis alone to the left, King to the right, and Manning. They're going to hand it off to Wallace. He works his way up the middle, makes two guys miss into the end zone.
And gets into the end zone.
Yeah, and you mentioned not only is he a great athlete, has great fundamentals that you need to be a great running back, and he is, as Troy Dale attempts the extra point, and that's going to be good. So Valley View 21, Paragould 0, 3:50 to go here in the second quarter. You're watching Valley View and Paragould on the NEA Sports Network.
Basketball star Austin Reeves is part of the Central Dealerships team. And just like Austin, we want you to join our team as well. So score big with your new or used vehicle from Central today.
Welcome back to NEA Sports Network. Blazers just scored their third touchdown of the ball game, and Mr. Randy, if you're the Rams, you've got to get some points on the board here. Valley View now up 21-0, 3 touchdowns. We only got 3 minutes and 50 seconds until halftime.
Yeah, you've really got a chance right here to kind of get back in the game because you're going to get the ball to start the second half. As they kick it, he fields it about the 20-yard line, and he's getting wide to
Flowers,
the right.
I believe, as he gets to the right, makes some guys miss. He's going to try to go back the other way, and he's got some space. So he makes his way to the 40, going to be near the 45, and really that's a great play by him. Doesn't normally.
Second half, as they kick it, he fields it about the 20-yard line, and he's getting
and that's
wide
Flowers,
to the right.
I believe, as he gets to the right, makes some guys miss. He's going to try to go back the other way, and he's got some space. So he makes his way to the 40, going to be near the 45, and really that. Yeah, and that is a flag there on the far side of the field, and they're going to say holding. So back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Looks like they'll start at 30.
Paragould's got a chance right here if they can, get some points on the board, use all 3:33 left in the half to do that, and then get the ball to start the second half. got a chance to crawl back into the game, but they've got to get a couple first downs here, at least not give Valley View the chance to get the ball back before the half.
Yeah, bunch now on the right of the line of scrimmage. Single receiver split out to the right. Looks like Phillips will keep it himself and get forward for about 3 yards there on first down. Make it about 2nd and 7 now for the Rams. That's Phillips in the game now. We've seen a lot of during the past few drives. Looks like they're going to let Phillips take the reins on this drive, start things off at least.
Yeah, and that's a similar set that we've seen Valley View in that nasty package with the 3 up backs and the quarterback lone back there, trying to grind out yards and run clock.
Phillips takes the snap. He's going to look to pass. They're going to throw the flag, as I believe Ramsey was just early there, a little bit of contact before that ball got to number 6.
3 up backs and the quarterback lone back there, trying to grind out yards and run clock.
Phillips takes the snap. He's going to look to pass. They're going to throw the flag, as I believe Ramsey was just a
little bit early. Unfortunately for him, what would have been a 5-yard hitch and put him in 3rd down turns into a 15-yard PI.
Yeah, and so that's big for the Rams. They get the ball now near midfield. Quick score update. Benton's leading Jonesboro 21-10 at the end of the first quarter. So now Phillips in the backfield once again. He's going to hand it off to his back in the middle of that Valley View defense. They're in a hurry, and a couple of things after the play. Looks like 2 of the Rams going at it. Not sure what that was about, but no gain on first down for Paragould.
Luke Herringer with a great job there, squeezing down on the end and just collapsing on the ball carrier out there. Another example of that great linebacker play that Coach Wilbanks has from his Valley View defense.
It's now 2nd down for the Rams at their own 48-yard line. Just about 2 minutes left here in the first half. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Phillips drops back, wants to go deep, double coverage. Avion Jones tried to make a play on the ball, but it was just behind him, so incomplete pass makes it 3rd and long now for Paragould. For the Rams at their own 48-yard line, just about 2 minutes left here in the first half. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Phillips drops back, wants to go deep, double coverage. Avion Jones tried to make a play on the
play. They just mistimed the jump and falls incomplete.
So now the Rams 3rd and 10, which would be what you'd think would be a most likely passing down, but we'll see what they decide to do. Quarterback in the gun, they're going to hand it off actually. He makes the guy miss, tries to shed Luke Herringer and Will Finley, then an army of Blazers come up to make the stop at the 45. So they're going to be just about 3 yards short of the first down.
And that's
which would be what you'd think would be a most likely passing down, but we'll see what they decide to do. Quarterback in the gun, they're going to hand it off actually. He makes the guy miss, tries to shed Luke Herringer and Will Finley, then
on. I do not know what the discussion
is. It's
a
flag
about.
On the far side of the field, and Paragould didn't look happy, so we'll see what they call. Was a good run. It would have been 4th and very manageable, but we'll see what the call is now. That's a big one.
And I don't know, after the 8-yard run by Z.K. Lineage right there, there's really a big wad of players, and a lot of times you don't see any type of personal foul in that. The only thing I can think of, there's times where, defensive coaches, and I know Coach Wilbanks probably teaches this, that when a ball carrier is hung up, the next guy that come in is trying to punch the ball out. A lot of times that punch doesn't get to the ball. Officials see that as a punch and call the personal foul for it.
So now Paragould has the ball near the red zone. They're going to do the handoff to Josh Ward. No gain there, actually a loss of about 2 or 3 yards, and we're getting close to a minute left here in the first half, so Paragould needs to hurry up, try to get some points on the board.
Yeah, and I think, again, we see a little bit of mishandling with the ball in the backfield, and that's kind of been an issue tonight for Paragould. Reed Phillips with a little bobble there before the handoff, causes a little bit of delay, but Paragould more than anything is getting the clock down to not give the ball back to Valley View before the half.
So now Paragould in the gun, they're going to have a stoppage here, and I believe that's going to be timeout Paragould. So we're going to take a quick break with them as they take the timeout. 44 seconds remaining in the first half.
Ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, two of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
Back to the broadcast booth here at NEA Sports Network. Blazers have the 21-0 lead, and Rams in Blazer territory, but down 3 scores, 0-21. I want to remind you, at halftime, we'll be joined by 3 Paragould Rams. You'll get to hear a little bit from them. That's going to be Tyler Ray, Zach Flowers, and Reed Phillips. But Paragould with the ball at the Blazers' 31-yard line. 3 receivers out to the right, and that's where they'll go. Blazers defense there. Ramsey tries to make the tackle, and the receiver, I believe that's Jaquez Starnes. And here comes a flag, and that might be a late hit out of bounds by A.V. Jones. I'm not sure, though. We'll see what they call.
Yeah, right now, again, we
that's where they'll go. Blazers defense there. Ramsey tries to make the tackle, and the receiver, I believe that's
penalty against Valley View that results in a 15-yard flag. I know one head coach in yellow over there that is going to be hot when he gets into the locker room at halftime, and he is going to let these guys have it, because right now Valley View is their own worst enemy on defense.
And that's exactly what it is. So a crucial penalty here inside the final minute before the half, and that's going to spot the ball at the 20. So if you've got a decent field goal kicker, you can get yourself a couple of yards and be in field goal range. But we'll see.
With 32 seconds to go, you've got a little bit of ability to
and I think Coach Cockrell calls the timeout. We'll take that quick timeout with them. Blazers lead the Rams 21-0. 32 seconds to go here in the first half. You're watching football on the NEA Sports Network.
At Glensane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't. Create filtered water for you and your plants, or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish, connect all your devices, and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better. So get in touch and be a Ritter Go-Getter.
5A East Conference Showdown to get things started in the first week of conference play. Blazers lead the Rams 21-0. Rams have the ball with striking distance. They're going to go the outside, almost intercepted by A.V. Jones. They're going to say incomplete.
Interesting right there that, both the receiver and DB are doing a little hand-to-hand combat right there, and they let it go. Fortunately for Paragould, that ball caromed right toward a Valley View defender, and they're lucky that it wasn't a pick.
So now 2nd down and 10 from about the 21-yard line. Paragould scoreless so far in the first half. 28 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Deering in the game now at quarterback in the gun. They're going to hand it off to Atea. He makes one guy miss, gets up towards the 15. Coach Phillips calls the timeout with 22 seconds remaining, so we're going to go to break with them once again. Valley View leads the Rams 21-0 on the NEA Sports Network.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Football Friday Night here on NEA Sports Network. And you mentioned while we were off air, Mr. Coleman, that if you have a good kicker, you got a shot to the end zone, then try to go for the field goal. But if not, you've got 2 shots to the end zone. So
yeah, and you put yourself in the middle of the field where you got both sides to work with the quarterback. Be interesting to see what they do right here.
Deering takes the snap, pressured, throws it near the end zone. That's intercepted. And I believe that's Rylan Ramsey as he works his way down the sideline, escorted out of bounds near the 33-yard line. So
you got both sides to work with the quarterback. Be interesting to see what they do right here.
Deering takes the snap, pressured, throws it near the end zone. That's intercepted. And I believe that's Rylan Ramsey as he works his way down the sideline, escorted out of bounds.
And that time right there, only Rylan Ramsey had a chance at the ball. Paragould receiver had 0 shot at it.
So now Valley View gets possessions. They're going to be inside their own 33. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy here, but they're going to put out 5 receivers. So Heineman alone now in the backfield in the shotgun. 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Takes the snap, throws it to Davis. See if Davis can make some guys miss, and he does. He's up towards the 45, and Valley View takes the timeout with 5 seconds to go. So we'll take a timeout with them. 5 seconds to go. Valley View leads the Rams 21-0. Back to Valley View and Paragould on NEA Sports Network for the last 5 seconds of the first half. Heineman in the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. And they're going to go with some lateral trickery. Parker King makes a couple guys miss and gets inside the 40, but time has expired in the first half as Valley View leads Paragould 21-0 with getting 3 touchdowns in the first half and doing a great job of holding Paragould scoreless. But we're going to head to the halftime show, and you'll be joined by 3 Paragould Rams players and get to hear a little bit from them. Then we'll come back to the broadcast booth and kind of wrap up the first half and get you ready to start things off in the second. You're watching Valley View and Paragould on the NEA Sports Network.
we'll say the halftime interview with Tyler Ray, Zach Flowers, and Reed Phillips here for the NEA Sports Network halftime show. Tyler, if you would, just tell us a little bit about positions you play on this team and your role on the team.
I play defensive tackle and then offensive guard. And I think as being a senior on the field, I think a big role that I have is helping everybody keep their heads up and stay in the game and stay strong.
Okay. Zach, what about you?
I play strong safety and wingback, and one of my biggest roles on the team is providing leadership, like what T-Ray was saying, when everybody's heads is down, helping everybody, bring their heads up and keep going.
Okay. And Reed?
My position is QB and safety, and I just help calling plays, obviously, and then just keeping my teammates up and keep us going.
Okay, I'm going to stick with you first, Reed. You play the QB position. All of y'all play both sides of the football. Talk about playing both sides, and I'd prefer to know which you like better, which side.
I like playing offense. That's what I mainly play.
Okay.
He's a starting safety most of the time, but
okay.
I only go in when he gets injured.
Okay.
But,
well, good Lord willing, you don't get injured, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Lord willing.
Okay. And will we see you? I know y'all typically in the past have been known more to run the football, or we're going to see you throw it a little bit.
You will see us throw it a lot more.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. Zach, same question for you. Playing both sides of the ball, preference?
It's good. I like defense more than offense sometimes, depending on the mood of Coach Lovell. But like during practice, we do a lot of running to help us with conditioning. So in game, playing both sides of the ball is pretty good and easy.
Okay, and then talk to me a little bit about the wing-back position. And when you watch NFL and even a lot of college, you don't see some of these formations you see in high school. So tell us a little bit about wing-back.
Wing-back, you either line up as you're basically a slot receiver, or you go at kind of like an H position, but like wing-back right behind the tight end.
Right.
And we either go out for pass or run basically.
Okay. And then Tyler, same to you. Playing both sides of the line. Talk to us a little bit about your favorite.
I think I like them both, but I think the way that how we're rolling right now, I think defense is. I like the defense a little better just because I feel like with defense we set the tone more, we set the name of the game more, and then our offense is able to follow behind that and keep our backs. So.
Okay, so stick with you, Tyler. Y'all started 3-0. Y'all started 3-0 last year, and then kind of fell off. What can you guys do to ensure that you keep this momentum and you have a better run in the conference this season?
I think one thing we're doing differently is a whole mindset thing. Last year we came in 3-0 and we were like, oh, we can sweep them easy because we're 3-0, they're going to be scared. This year it's more like we're not 3-0 right now, we're 0-0 coming in first game of the season. And it's just whoever fights harder.
Zach, what's your thoughts on that?
Just keep pushing to not be arrogant about the game and just have our mindset on winning and keep going and keep going until the whistle's blown into the fourth quarter.
Okay, Reed?
Man, I just feel like as long as we don't make mistakes. So last year we had a lot of mistakes, and it just we just got down on ourselves. And Valley View's a great team, but they're not as good as they were last year. As long as we don't make mistakes, they make mistakes all the time. You watch them on defense, and put motion in the backfield, linebackers start hesitating. Can't make mistakes.
So, and that was going to be the next thing I asked. Y'all play Valley View, a team that's won the conference either 2 or 3 straight years in a row. They are down. There's no question about that. They lost a ton of talented players. So you still got to take this game very seriously, but you got to have a little belief that this is a game at home that you can win. Talk to us a little bit more about game plan for Valley View.
Honestly, it's just to throw them off balance. We're having a lot of motion. We're going to be throwing the ball, run the ball. They're not used to us throwing the ball at all. At all.
Mm-hmm.
So, they stop the run, we can go throw it. As long as we block good, it should be a good game. As long as we block. They have a great D-line. So, as long as we block good, we have no worries.
Zach, for you, as far as performance-wise, what do you feel like you got to do to get a win this Friday night?
Back to what we were saying, not making mistakes, and and then on the field we might make mistakes, but like learning from it, and then not just thinking about the old play, and then not about the pass, and just keep going forward and keep moving and play after play after play.
Okay, Tyler, as a guy that is on both sides of the line, he mentions they've got a great defensive line, so that's obviously could be a focal point for you playing offensive guard. But getting to their quarterback too, they've got a quarterback that has not a lot of experience. So if you shake him up early, and they do have a good running back in the Wallace kid. But just talk to a little bit about both sides of that for you.
I think like a big thing about on the D line, it's a lot of keeping the younger kids that are playing, keeping their heads up when something goes bad. Don't let them get down about it. Like, and being the senior, you can't get down yourself. You got to stay up, because when they see the older guys down, they're like, "Oh, that's not good." And so it's just really a big leadership thing and toughness along with that. You can't play in a team like Valley View. They come in strong. You can't come in weak behind them, or it's just not going to be a long night.
Okay. This 5A conference, a lot of people believe is up in the air as far as who can win it, who can make the playoffs. Obviously, I think anybody's goal is to make the playoffs. How big of a deal would that be for you guys? And whoever wants to answer it can answer it. But to make a run and get Paragould in the playoffs for the first time in a really long time. Anybody wants to answer that?
I mean, it'd be like great, because like the standard for Paragould for a while is like it's been like Paragould's been down. They're the worst team ever, and like every team coming against us is like oh, we can beat Paragould, and then like us like making that would be a blessing.
I mean, until last year, the highest record for how long was 1-9.
Right.
So I mean, it'd be all over news. I mean, like.
One thing that you have to look at when you got a program that struggled like the Paragould has is it's a progression. And you mentioned one win, you had 3 last year, now you look to do some damage in the conference. So, if you're looking, obviously you want to win every game. So does every team. So from a realistic standpoint, what goals do you feel like would be definitely obtainable for this season?
Definitely playoffs, honestly. I mean, Valley View, Nettleton, well, not even Nettleton. Valley View win the 2 biggest ones now. I mean, everybody else is hurt. Nettleton's still good. They got a good running back. QB, got a lot of experience. I mean,
it's question marks everywhere. Yeah.
It's very, very attainable.
Okay. As far as this early season success, we've already mentioned you're 3-0. What do you guys feel like has led to the good start that y'all are on? What are y'all, if there's, let's say 3 things, and each one of you can name one thing, what's something you feel like really stands out that's made y'all kind of go so far?
Our chemistry, like our team's chemistry. Like last year, we had some really great athletes. We had really good athletes, but I feel like our chemistry was off. Like when the other team would like score, we could be up by like 2 touchdowns, but when the other team would score, like everybody's momentum and head would be down, and it just like broke us.
Yeah, not a lot of leadership last year, I feel like. I mean, great guys last year. We love them all, but we weren't really like as closely knitted as we are this year, I feel like.
Okay. I'm going to stick with you for a second. As you moved in 2-3 years ago, what year is this for you?
I moved in my 10th grade year.
Okay, so this will be year 3 here. Talk to me, about playing for your dad. What does that look like on the field and off the field at home?
Off the field at home is just a lot of questions, a lot of bantering. What do I need to do? And I mean, you can ask them on the field here. He's just constantly on me. He's dad and son. That's what it is. But I just gotta work hard and keep my head down, even though he yells at me sometimes more than necessary, and he'll apologize to me. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just we have a good relationship. I mean, I feel like we have good chemistry being a son and a dad.
Yeah. Okay. And then obviously, I know you moved here. Have you both been here the entire time?
Yeah, I've been here ever since.
Zach got the same.
I'm moved.
Okay. So, Zach, I'm going to ask you this one, and y'all can follow up with it because you definitely got an opinion on it. But when we broadcasted the Tech Paragould game, I know that's the end of the year and that's way ahead, but I've got to ask about it because I thought it was just made for an electric atmosphere, and I didn't realize it until I came and did one. and it literally felt like everybody in Greene County was here. So talk to me a little bit about the importance of that game from just a rivalry standpoint.
The importance of it, it's like, I mean, everybody knows it's for the Bill. It's
battle for the Bill. That's right.
Yeah, it's battle for the Bill. It's like, it's more like who can say that they have the Bill more than like, a lot of the times when we play Tech, it's not just to say that we beat Tech, it's to say that we have the Bill.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's more like, they gotta pay, like, it's a more respect thing because we beat them, we got the Bill, so we can like mess around about it.
Sure.
I feel like it's hatred based. I mean, I feel like
That's kind of how I felt, guys. I mean, I don't know, and I think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's what football's made for. I mean, like, I just feel like there's a lot of passion into it. Like, that's the game where they don't care who gets injured. It's the game you want to win. I mean, like, it's just like all on the line. Like, who wants it more? That's all it is.
Yeah. Last season, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was it was definitely a one possession ball game.
It was a
2 point loss last year. How important is it to get that bell back this year?
It's so important.
Last game of the year, we had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Especially me and him, seniors, nothing to lose.
Yeah. Now the hope is it's not the last game of the year this year, though.
Oh,
right?
no, but like, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Conference.
I know what you're saying for sure. All right, guys, great job.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually, we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Glensane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't, create filtered water for you and your plants, or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish, connect all your devices, and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better, so get in touch and be a Ritter Go-Getter.
For 140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glensane, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
Local basketball star Austin Reeves is part of the Central Dealerships team. And just like Austin, we want you to join our team as well. So score big with your new or used vehicle from Central today. Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. We have the perfect ride waiting for you and exceptional service. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today.
When you ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, 2 of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
Hey, you want to do some stats?
And welcome back to the halftime show here on NEA Sports Network. Blazers have the 21-0 lead over the Rams. Pure dominance by the Blazers in the first half. And Mr. Coleman has some stats for us to kind of break down the first half statistically between the two teams.
Yeah, and it wasn't, like we talked about in the first half, it wasn't the the cleanest half of football played by either team. Paragould had a lot of, ball handling issues in the backfield that led to long yardage situations. They were able to throw and catch a little bit. Valley View got started off fast, but kind of slowed down. But Taylor Heineman was 7 of 12, passing for 64 yards, had 3 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown. For the most part, Paragould has kind of contained Carter Wallace. I mean, he has 10 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown, but they've kept away from the big explosive run for Carter Wallace. And then Kamarion Davis has 2 carries. We had the big 54-yard touchdown run early. He has 2 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown and 3 receptions for 39 yards. So one thing I think that's big is Levi Manning, especially over the Searcy and West Memphis games, kind of became that go-to receiver. Coming into tonight, over those 2 games, he had 7 receptions for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's yet to touch the ball tonight.
Yeah, and those are some big-time numbers in 2 games for a guy that really was in the quarterback battle at the beginning of this year, especially when we went over to Marion to play the benefit scrimmage. And, I mean, he's really done a great job. But then you also got Parker King, who came back from injury. So these Blazers are loaded on offense. And like we mentioned, Carter Wallace, they've done a great job containing him really from the big explosive runs. But if Carter Wallace gets going and the Blazers are able to pick up multiple yards on first down and kind of keep that clock running, Paragould's in trouble. They've got to get some points on the board here. When they get the ball to start things off in the second half, if they want any chance of pulling off a comeback.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they've got to get some points on the board right here. At least get field position in their favor. But, if they want a chance to win, they've got to get some points on the board here. And then you really, fall into a situation where do you get aggressive and onside kick to try to gain possessions? Or what are you going to do? But it'll be interesting to see the adjustments that Coach Phillips makes from the Paragould side. And we know that with the penalties that Valley View had and kind of the inconsistencies both offensively and defensively, I bet Coach Cockrell's got these guys ready to roll in the second half.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And a couple of uncharacter-like penalties by both teams, but then also a big key factor in the first half was taking care of the ball, turnovers. I mean, Paragould had a chance to get some points on the board in the last few seconds. Ramsey comes away with the interception, and then the Blazers falling on top of the football there in the miscue for the fumble recovery. And that was 2 drives inside Blazer territory that Paragould coughed up the football.
Yeah, no doubt. The 3 turnovers for Paragould really hurt, and there's statistics galore about if you win the turnover battle and win the explosive plays, you're in the 90% chance of winning at any level. And right now, Valley View is controlling the turnover battle. The explosive plays are in their favor as well. Paragould's got to do something to get some momentum offensively.
So Paragould's going to send back Flowers and Starnes to receive the kickoff to get things started here in the second half. We'll see if the Blazers decide to go with the pooch kick, and they do. Paragould not going to fair catch it. Ball's on the ground, and we'll see who's able to fall on top of it. That'd be huge if the Blazers have it.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there from Paragould about who's receiving the ball.
Thank goodness they were able to fall on top of it.
Yeah, and Paragould gets on it, and they're starting again with good field position.
So start at their own 35 after they're able to recover the fumble initially by their return team. We'll see what quarterback trots out to start things off here in the second half. Looks like it's going to be Phillips. So Phillips will lead his team out to the field. They trail Valley View 0-21 here as we start the third quarter. It looks like an empty backfield to get things started. One receiver split wide to Phillips' left. Phillips takes the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. Good gain there on first down. He gets to about the 40-yard line, so picks up half of the yards needed with 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 5. We talked about that being crucial for Paragould. in the early down situation.
Without a doubt. And, right there, you've got Valley View getting in an 8-man front defensively where they walk A.V. Jones down at a linebacker spot. And, really Paragould said, okay, you're going to put 8 in the box. We're still going to run the ball. Pretty effective start right there by Paragould.
So Phillips still in the game at quarterback. Nasty package up towards the line of scrimmage. One receiver now on the right. They fake the handoff. Phillips keeps it himself, and that Valley View interior line and Ryder Wooten there to make the stop immediately for a little bit of a loss, about 2 yards, so makes it 3rd and a long 6.
Yeah, and a name we hadn't called tonight, Ethan Thomas, a defensive lineman there. You got Ethan Thomas, Eli Thornton, and Holden Murphy that have done a great job this year at the defensive line spot for Valley View. Right there, Wooten is there to blow up the play, but everybody else is there to clean it up.
Looks like that's going to be number 55, and that is Reese Domino, appears to be on my roster, who jumped offside, so it's going to give him a 5-yard penalty, and now 3rd and much more manageable now for Paragould.
Yeah, and I think if you're Paragould here, every 4th down you got to go for if you want a chance to win, unless it's 4th and extremely long. I think even with 8 in the box here by Valley View and the adjustments they made at halftime, I think you've got to continue to try to run the ball and get 2 to 3 yards a pop.
3 receivers to the left. Phillips in the gun, cuts back towards the inside. McNamee there on the tackle, but that's going to be enough to move the chains, and they get the ball to their own 47. So 1st down picked up there by Phillips on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, and we talked about this a lot in the first half. Paragould didn't do a good job early, using 1st down to their advantage. There was, a lot of 2nd and long, 2nd and extremely long. In this half, if they're going to put some points on the board, they've got to be effective on 1st down.
Looks like they'll send out Burden far to the right, one running back in the backfield once again with Phillips. They have the ball on their own 47-yard line, trying to get something going. This play is blown dead. Timeout, Paragould.
And apparently there's something there that Coach Phillips didn't like.
So we'll go ahead and take a break with them. Valley View leads Paragould still 21-0, 9:26 remaining in the 3rd quarter. You're watching football on the NEA Sports Network.
140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glensane, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Welcome back to the NEA Sports Network. Paragould getting a drive going here to open up things in the 3rd quarter as they're going to hand it off. And now met in the backfield immediately as that's number 48, and that is Jacob Kazano, the senior, making a tackle for loss in the backfield. So like we talked about, now Paragould's backed up 2nd and long.
Yeah, and just right now Paragould has not been able to get anything off tackle going in the run game. Everything that they've got positive in the run game has been between the tackles. They try to do a little buck sweep right there. Jacob Sano gets upfield, penetration, makes the tackle in the backfield.
It's now 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Phillips in the gun, pressured by Valley View. That's thrown up for grabs and just out of reach for Will Finley. He was there to make a play on it, but fortunately for Phillips, that falls incomplete.
Yeah, and for Reed Phillips, he's getting some pressure in his face by Silas Thomas right there, throwing off his back foot, ball drifts high. Fortunately for Paragould, little over the head of Will Finley, but he was right there to make a play.
So with the stop on second, brings up about 3rd and 15 now for the Rams, and they got to get at least a couple of yards here to get 4th and manageable. As Phillips still in the game. Looks like Chipman in the backfield with him. They'll send 2 receivers to Phillips' right. This play blown dead again, and I believe that's Paragould's second called timeout so far of the second half, and it is, and we'll take a break with them as you're watching high school football on the NEA Sports Network.
Someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, 2 of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
Welcome back to NEA Sports Network. Is about 3rd and 15. There's going to be a pre-snap penalty. Offsides on the Blazers, so now going to be about 3rd and 10 now, or 3rd and 9 for Paragould, so that helps them out a little bit there.
Yeah, again, we just kind of got started off to another sloppy start the second half for both teams.
So now Paragould takes the snap out of the gun. Phillips throws it back across the field. Chipman's there as he runs over one Blazer defender near the line to gain. I bet they're going to give him a first down, and they do move the chains. So now Paragould putting a little bit of a drive together inside Blazer territory.
Nice little play there by Paragould where they sprint right, throw it back to the running back, ZK Laneige, and he gets enough for the first down.
We mentioned off air, Coach must really believe this drive's real crucial, and it is, down 3 scores with just over 8 minutes remaining. So now Paragould driving inside Blazer territory. 2 receivers to the right, 1 back in the backfield on Phillips' left hip. Phillips takes the snap out of the gun, goes up the middle, and he's met in a hurry. Guess who? Ryder Wooten for the tackle for loss. Well,
and that's just, his football intelligence. He sniffs it out. And, let's give credit where credit's due also. That's Coach Wilbanks studying the Paragould offense. He's got his guys. I think they're probably reading guards. When the back flows away, Ryder's reading the guards, pulling the opposite way. He fills the hole and makes the play in the backfield.
Now receiver split out to each side. Phillips drops back and goes to the far side. Contact. No flag is thrown, so that's going to bring up 3rd and long now for Paragould. I guess there is a flag.
Yeah, I think, Valley View gets away with the hold on the hitch right there. The receiver trying to come back to the ball. The Valley View corner pulls him a little bit, but it looks like they're going to get a hold in the backfield against Paragould. I'm guessing right here Coach Cockrell will decline it.
And you're correct. So Valley View will just set up 3rd down now for Paragould. 3rd down about 12 yards. So passing down for sure. You'd put your money on that if you're the Valley View defense. We'll see what kind of pass rush they can get here. And looks like Phillips going to come out of the game replaced by Deering. So that's all our quarterback comes in for Paragould.
And if you're Paragould right here, you want to get half the yards back right here. You want to get to a 4th and 6.
Deering takes the snap out of the gun, looks right. Receiver tries to break off. I believe that was Sonny Williams there. Kobe Webster in coverage, but that's incomplete. So now on that crucial drive, looks like it's going to end in a punt by the Rams.
Yeah, and I think you got a punt right here with 4th and 12. I'll tell you, it's a mirrored route. You got hitches on both sides. You know, if I'm a quarterback, and when I coach quarterbacks, I would always tell them, take the shortest, cleanest throw. Well, the shortest, cleanest throw right there is to his boundary. He tries to make the long throw, and unfortunately throws it incomplete.
Punt takes a favorable bounce for the Rams for getting out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So the Blazers will take over there for their first drive here in the second half. And I wouldn't be too surprised, Mr. Coleman, if we see Carter Wallace get a lot of the workload instead of going to that passing game up 3 scores here in the third.
I think you're probably spot on, Tyson, because, you know, one, you've got a 3-score advantage. You want to run that clock. You got your best player as Carter Wallace, and I think you want to lean on him a little bit.
Heineman takes the snap, and they do give it to Wallace. He's across outside to the 40. He makes one guy miss, and it's green grass. Now across the 20, 10, touchdown, big play, Carter Wallace. And Valley View is now up 4 scores on Paragould.
Yeah, and you know, again, you know, you're just super impressed with Carter Wallace, and you know, you combine his skill set of power and speed, great blocking up front from an experienced offensive line. He gets to the second level and, you know, makes one man miss at the linebacker spot, and then he's to the house.
Yeah, and there was not much Paragould could do about that one. Mentioned the offensive line, very experienced, a very good part of the Valley View offense. And Troy Dale, extra point is no good, so he's 3 of 4 for the night. But Valley View gets on the scoreboard first here in the second half as they lead the Rams 27-0, 6:42 remaining in the third quarter. You're watching Friday Night Football on the NEA Sports Network.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
Welcome back to NEA Sports Network. Blazers just increased their lead by 6 as they now lead the Rams 27-0 with 6:42 left in the third quarter. And the pooch kick going to go out of bounds, so there comes the flag. But that was a big-time run there from Carter Wallace. And you mentioned that offensive line. They've got some great experience with multiple seniors and a bunch of 3-year starters.
Yeah, I think you start with Judd Miles at center, who's started for 3 years. You got Houston Walker, who's a 3-year starter, and Bryson Branscombe. And you got Tyler Carver and Jackson Jones. Experience up front. Coach Adam Carter does a great job with those guys, and right there they just opened up a hole, and then let your guy, let your bell cow do the work. And anytime you're kind of struggling offensively or just a little out of sync, go with your horses, and that's an experienced offensive line and Carter Wallace.
So now Paragould takes over at their own 44, and they're going to go hand off up the middle. Blazer defense there, ball's out, and Ryder Wooten has the fumble, so Valley View forces yet another turnover.
Yeah, unfortunately for Paragould, you got a decent-looking play there. You got sophomore, ZK Laneige, who has got a bright future. But sophomores are going to do sophomore things at time, and right there he coughed it up.
So now Valley View's offense will come back onto the field. So the Blazers, I believe that's 4 turnovers for Paragould here tonight.
Yep, 4 turnovers, and it's not an accident that Valley View leads by 4 scores.
So we'll see what they decide to do here. Heineman has 3 receivers to his right. Davis isolated to the left. They motion King crossing the backfield. Throw it out to King, and that was just not the most accurate throw there by Heineman. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just anytime a right-handed quarterback is taking that action and he's sprinting to his left and you got a man on the move, a lot of people look at that and say that's an easy throw. That's really one of the tougher throws you're going to make. A guy moving laterally, you're moving laterally, and you're trying to make an accurate throw.
2nd and 10 for the View, 2 receivers to each side. This time, I'm not sure, a little bit of miscommunication there between Davis and Heineman, brings up 3rd and long.
And really, that just looked like a straight slip. I think that ball just came, just slipped out of Taylor's hands. Looked like they're trying to throw the bubble to Parker King right there. And it looks like Coach Riley's, making an effort to get Parker King involved tonight. He missed the West Memphis game. Probably a little limited before that, trying to get the senior playmaker involved tonight.
So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to hand it off to Wallace. Wallace is met quickly by the Paragould defender, and that's number 28. Now, I do not have him on my roster. Do you?
I do not, and it just a great play there, just filling the hole. Valley View's running counter. He plugs the hole there. I do have Dylan Burgess, sophomore linebacker there, making the play.
Nice job there by that sophomore. So forces the Blazers and Levi Manning to punt. They send 1 returner back near his own 10-yard line. A little bit of bobble on the snap, and Manning's going to take off and run with it. So he makes 2 guys try to miss, but he's not successful, so Rams will take over at the 45. I'm not sure if that was a planned fake punt or if things just went to bad there and Manning tried to make something out of nothing.
I think it just looked like he caught it initially, and as he's adjusting the ball to go for the punt, he just lost a handle on it. Puts Paragould in good field position.
So now Phillips into the game, leads the Rams out to the field. 1 receiver out far to the left. None to the right. Looks like they're still in a little bit of that nasty package. Phillips in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it. Silas Thomas and Ryder Wooten there on the tackle. So another tackle for loss on 1st down by this Blazer defense, and Rams forced with another 2nd and long.
Yeah, Riley McNamee's in there also. That linebacking core that we've talked about a lot tonight, just continues to make plays.
So now just over 5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and about 12 now for Paragould as they get out of the nasty package. 1 back on Phillips' left hip, 1 receiver to each side. It's Phillips. Correction, that's Deering now in the game. That play is blown dead. We'll see what happened there, and I believe.
And I really don't know what this penalty could be, if it's a penalty, because the wingback moved, but he moved backwards, which would not be a false start or illegal motion.
Well, it must be tonight in these referees' rule books, so Paragould takes the loss.
So nobody's perfect, Tyson.
That's right. So Paragould takes the 5-yard loss on 2nd down to make it 2nd and about 17 now. Deering in the gun, 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield. Deering turns to his right, almost intercepted there by number 19, and that is Kobe Webster, who almost had himself a pick 6, but nonetheless for the View sets up 3rd and 17 now for Paragould.
And he makes a perfect break on the ball on the little speed out. But unfortunately, he doesn't come up with it. And, the old joke among coaches would be that, people play D-back for a reason. If they could catch the ball, they'd be receivers. But great defensive play, great break on the ball. Unfortunately, he just couldn't come up with it.
It's now 3rd and a long ways for Paragould. We'll see if Valley View will send a heavy pass rush or kind of sit back near the sticks. Deering takes the snap, throws it, has a receiver. That's number 2, Zachariah Flowers, but he's going to be tackled well short of the line to gain. So brings up about 4th and 9 now for the Rams. Looks like they'll send the punt team back onto the field.
And that's one thing that I've been a little baffled at tonight is a lot of times when you're throwing quick games, so you're catching it and trying to get rid of it as fast as possible, the easier throw for a right-handed quarterback is left, similar like a shortstop turning 2 in baseball. And you see he's been more accurate when he throws that way tonight.
So the punt goes right to Will Finley. He gets outside across the 30, makes his way near the 40-yard line, so good field position once again for the Blazers. They're going to spot it at the 39. So now the Blazers will take over on their own side of the field. And we saw a stop there by Paragould last possession, but Carter Wallace took one to the house earlier on in the 3rd quarter, but we'll see if the Blazers are still trying to get Parker King going or if they're going to kind of lay off and turn this into a run game. But we'll see what Coach Riley decides to draw up here on 1st down.
You got Luke Crecilius coming in at the H-back position. He's filling in for Leighton Holt, who, is battling issue, and we wish him well.
Yeah, prayers for Leighton for sure. He's not expected to return this year, but hopefully he makes a full recovery and is able to go next year. Good job there by the Rams containing Wallace in the backfield. It's going to be a tackle for loss, so loss of yardage on 1st down brings up about 2nd and 13.
One of the best things for a coach is when you win easily and don't necessarily play well. Typically that next week is going to be a great week of practice, and that could be really good for Valley View heading into homecoming next week in a tougher Harding Academy opponent.
Yeah, and they're tough, but not picked nearly as high as they have been the previous few years, but definitely a challenge for the Blazers as Heineman rolls to his left and gets out of bounds up near the line of scrimmage. It might be about a loss of 1, but good job by Heineman not taking the sack.
Yeah, they tried that, the bubble action that they've thrown that little bubble screen a lot tonight and throwing the fade in behind it. He had a man open, but a little pressure forced him out of the pocket and keeps him from hitting that wide open man.
So Heineman now in the shotgun. Bunch of receivers to the right. Wallace in the backfield with Heineman. They're going to fake the handoff to Wallace. Heineman rolls out to the left, makes some defenders miss, slips and stumbles at the 30-yard line. So that's going to be another loss of yards, and Levi Manning will come out to punt for the Blazers.
And, it's one of those nights where, I really don't know another way to describe it. It's just kind of sloppy. And, they tried a little run action, play fake to get a pass open right there, and Taylor slips on the scramble.
And Levi Manning with the high booming punt. It's near midfield, takes a Paragould bounce. That's fielded by Valley View at about the 47. And you mentioned kind of sloppy, and I think it's either one or two things. After the bye week, team comes out, looks like they're really prepared and well rested, or kind of a sloppy and sluggish start, which is definitely possible after not getting to play last Friday.
Yeah, and I think that happens sometimes where you've really come off a second half against Searcy where you played phenomenal football. Then you come out against West Memphis, really play well in front of the home fans, mercy rule them. You've got a lot of momentum, and then you get a week off, and it looks like they're just trying to get their legs back under them tonight.
First down there for Deering. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication getting the handoff, so he had to keep it himself. So he's tackled in the backfield. I believe that was Will Finley getting back there in a hurry for the Blazers. So
Well, one thing that Valley View can for sure hang their hat on, and I think I mentioned this, pregame, is that I really believe the strength of their team is this linebacking core. And, Coach Wilbanks has done a great job with these guys. If you can hold your opponent the way they have, you can work through a lot of sloppiness offensively because you're so good defensively.
Yeah, and Paragould hands it off, and I believe that is Chipman on the carry. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and long, and we've called his name about 20 times tonight. Ryder Wooten reading that run play perfectly and making the tackle.
Yeah, he's just he's a coach's dream, and, great athlete, great football IQ, wonderful tackler. He's just everything you want from that Mike linebacker position.
So now Deering in the shotgun. Sidearm throw is delivered. A.V. Jones gets a little bit of a stiff arm, and they're going to be closer to the 1st down yard to gain. It's going to be about 4 yards short, so I bet that Coach will keep his offense on the field here for sure.
Yeah, and I you see again that, the accuracy to the left in this quick passing attack is going to be a lot better than throwing right.
So now Deering in the gun. And I might have been mistaken all night. Instead of Chipman, that might be the sophomore back. But looks like Paragould will take their 3rd and final timeout of the half. 16 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a timeout with them here on the NEA Sports Network.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded yet again General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect.
Welcome back to NEA Sports Network. Blazers lead the Rams 27-0. Last seconds here in the 3rd quarter. Good job there by Kobe Webster coming in and breaking up that pass, and we've seen him have a few pass breakups here tonight.
Yeah, and I think Coach Phillips, when he looks back at this game, he's if you really do some self-scouting, you're going to see the inaccuracy when you're throwing the ball right as opposed to throwing the ball left when you're throwing these short and intermediate passes, and I'm just, kind of going, on the fly here, but I would say that the percentage is in the low 20s to the right and probably in the high 70s to the left.
Looks like Mallet in the gun. He's going to take it himself, met near the line of scrimmage, but keeps those legs churning for a positive gain of 4, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. And while we have a second, I want to give a shout-out. Actually, sorry, that's the end of the 3rd quarter, so we'll take a break with them as we head into the 4th quarter. Valley View 27, Paragould 0. We're back with the final quarter of action from football on NEA Sports Network.
Basketball star Austin Reeves is part of the Central Dealerships team. And just like Austin, we want you to join our team as well. So score big with your new or used vehicle from Central today. Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. Central was awarded yet again.
Welcome back to the NEA Sports Network as Valley View starts off the 4th quarter as Mallet makes some guys miss and gets a first down on the quarterback keeper, so I'd be surprised if we see any more Taylor Heineman. But what I was saying before the break is I want to give a shout-out to Houston Walker as he was selected for the Hooten Scholar Athlete of the Week, and that's really a special recognition, and he works his tail off on and off the field, and especially in the classroom.
That's a big-time award, and, think about all the high school players in the state to receive that. It's big time.
So Mallett keeps it again, sheds a few tacklers, and he's near a first down. Once again, they're going to say move those chains, and so back-to-back first downs off the keeper by Mallett. And, this is just some valuable experience for that sophomore, getting some snaps at quarterback.
And there's no doubt, that's his seventh carry of the night. He's proven very valuable, really kind of jump-starting the offense a couple times tonight when it was stagnant.
So now Heineman checks back into the game at quarterback. Looks like he's got Mallett and Davis to his left and another receiver far right. Wallace in the backfield takes the handoff. Goes up the middle for a gain of 2 or 3, so good job by the Rams containing him on that run play.
Yeah, and I think, Coach Riley is content to try to move the chains on the ground right now. I think he still might put the ball in the air, but he's going to lean on that experienced offensive line for the rest of the fourth quarter.
Heineman takes the snap. He's going to take a deep shot, and that's King, and he makes the diving catch near the 2-yard line. Heck of a job there by King getting underneath that one and corralling the deep pass there. It was a great throw by Heineman.
Great throw and great acceleration. You can tell that Parker King's a good baseball player because that's like a fly ball that he's trying to track down, and he just gets under it, makes a slide and catch.
Yeah, and King recently committed to Harding to go continue his football career earlier during the football season. So now Blazers have it inside the red zone. 1st and goal to go now for Taylor Heineman. Has Wallace in the backfield, King to the right, Davis to the left. And they're going to hand it to Wallace. And he's going to dance his way into the end zone easily as Wallace gets his second touchdown. Or is that his third touchdown of the night?
That is his third touchdown of the night. And I think you're going to see Valley View go for 2 here to try to get the mercy clock running.
So now that does extend the lead to 33-0, and that is exactly what they'll try for here. Put the ball at the...
And I think, just seeing what they've done in the past, I think you may see Taylor Heineman on the run right here.
Fakes the handoff. They're going to go into the end zone, and there comes 2 flags, and no doubt about it, there's some contact there. So
definitely
going to be the pass interference, and Blazers get a retry.
Nice call on the slant route right there, and they were very successful with that against West Memphis, 2 weeks ago, and trying to get that slant in there for the 2-point conversion. Now it goes half the distance, so we're at the 1.5-yard line, and
definitely opens up some more options for sure. We'll see. They might give it to their workhorse Wallace, but Taylor in the gun, hands it off to Wallace. He's powering his way, and he's in. So Valley View gets in the end zone, and they're going to start the mercy rule clock. Blazers take the lead 35-0 with 9:42 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back after this. You're watching high school football on the NEA Sports Network.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the NEA Sports Network as the Blazers just kick things off, and that ball's on the ground. We'll see who can come up with it. Valley View thinks they have it. That'd be huge for the Blazers. They'd really run this clock down. And they do. So heads up play there by the coverage team, falling on top of the ball. And I believe that was Drayton Conjure, who the sophomore made a big play there to get the ball back for Valley View.
And that's the 5th turnover tonight for Paragould, and a lot for both teams to work on as they head into conference play.
And definitely some things to focus on and practice over next week, especially as Valley View gets ready for their big homecoming game. Mallett takes a snap, rolls out to the left, couple of good blocks by his receivers. Mallett sheds another tackle, and he's inside the 20, so big explosive run there by Mallett, and here comes the flag out of bounds, and I bet that might be unnecessary roughness by the Rams, but we'll see what the officials decide to go with here.
Yeah, just a great, keeping balance, breaking tackles. At the beginning, you saw him kind of heading to the sideline, and he very wisely realized, I don't want to run out of bounds just by nature to keep the clock moving, although I don't think it would stop at this point. But, he keeps his feet, gets up the field, breaks a couple more tackles, gets a big gain.
And now the Blazers decide to go with Cooper Pruitt at quarterback. He's a senior. Really doesn't get much playing time, but in a game like this, why not let the senior get some reps and kind of make all his practice reps worth it and give him some valuable experience here. And also you got some backup receivers. I know that's senior Jake Veach along with number 20 Whit Herndon, Jr., backup running back in the backfield as well. Pruitt takes the snap and hands it off. That's
I think that's Briggs Rasmussen.
That is Briggs Rasmussen. He made a couple of great runs at Marion during the benefit scrimmage, and he's definitely going to be a good back once Carter Wallace graduates after next year. So Blazers have some good young guys, and then you've also got number 88, Justin Sayre, who's getting some reps at receiver. So Pruitt leads his offense inside the 5-yard line. Pruitt takes the snap out of the gun, handles it, runs to the right, runs to the outside, and he's brought down in the backfield by number 2, Zachariah Flowers.
Yeah, and that's, I know Cooper hasn't played a whole lot, and that's one of those instances where, as the ball gets pushed sideways, a lot of times in high school football, all the athletes are good enough with good enough speed and pursuit that you're not going to outrun many people around the edge, and you just need to at some point put your foot in the ground and get up the field.
So Pruitt now with the ball at about the 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and he hands it off. And Paragould there in a hurry with a good big-time tackle there by number 28. I believe that is Dylan Burgess, who made a play earlier. That sophomore doing a good job at the linebacker position. Brings up 4th and goal from the 13. Looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. I wasn't sure if they tried to send out Troy Dale to attempt the field goal, but looks like they'll keep Pruitt on the field. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Cockrell takes a timeout.
Yeah, and I think there's some good highlights, for Paragould to work on moving forward. And, next week they'll have Batesville, and Valley View will have Harding Academy. So,
and Coach Cockrell does take the timeout with 5:39 to go. Valley View leads the Rams 35-0. We'll take a timeout with them. Be back for the rest of the 4th quarter after this on the NEA Sports Network.
At Glen Sane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't. Create filtered water for you and your plants. Or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish. Connect all your devices and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better. So get in touch.
So we're back on NEA Sports Network. Troy Dale attempts a 31-yard field goal. That's going to be wide left. Rams will take over near the 21, I'm guessing. So
I think that ball will go out to the 20. In high school, anytime that ball gets to the end zone, it's going to go out to the 20.
So you're correct. They'll take it from the 20. So now 5 minutes and the clock is rolling. So we'll see if this is the last drive of the ball game for the Rams, and I'd expect it to be at this pace. But
yeah, and just some updated stats. Carter Wallace tonight's going to end up the night with 15 carries for 136 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is, going to continue, a fabulous season for him.
Yeah, and that's about 9 yards per carry, and that's phenomenal for any running back at any level. So Paragould with the quarterback keeper. That's Deering. So he gets forward for a nice gain on first down, so it's about 2nd and 5 with just over 4 minutes to go here in the fourth.
And you'd love to see Paragould just put one in the end zone here just to get some positivity moving forward.
So Deering now in the gun, 3 receivers to the right, back in the backfield on his left hip. Deering takes the snap. They're going to hand it off. Blazer defense there. Actually, he bounced outside, so smart play by Dylan Burgess, who just made a great play on defense on the carry to pick up the first down.
Dylan Burgess is a sophomore that, you kind of catches your eye. He made the big stop on Carter Wallace, earlier, and then makes the big stop in the last possession for Valley View, and then it comes out with a nice run here on to convert for a first down.
It's definitely something to build off of that if you're that kid. Now, another good run there from Paragould is that's number 20, Markul Ataya. He picks up a first down. Like you said, it'd be good to see Paragould get some points on the board, and at this pace, they might be able to get down there in time.
Yeah, and just a little update on Carter Wallace. Now, this is unofficial, but for the season, 81 carries for 519 yards and 9 touchdowns in 4 games.
That's unreal numbers. So Paragould with another great run. Ataya running over some Valley View defenders, and he's going to make his way to about the Valley View 35. So a couple of good runs by Ataya back-to-back here for the Rams.
And, and he's a junior. You've seen, ZK Linnaeus, who's a sophomore, and Dylan Burgess is a sophomore, and Ataya, who's a junior. There's a lot of good things that Paragould's got going for him moving forward.
Deering in the gun, 3 receivers to the left. They hand it off to Burgess. Valley View makes the play near the line of scrimmage, just over 2 minutes and ticking now in the fourth. So they're going to give them about a yard there on that run.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good week of practice for both programs. Paragould now is moving into that area where they fall to 3-1, but getting Batesville next week, and they're battling for a playoff spot. Now you look at Brooklyn and Batesville, Wynn. A lot of those teams, there's some chances for Greene County Tech that Paragould can keep some of this momentum going forward and try to make a playoff run.
Yeah, and kind of a outside run there to number 10, Brandon Lopez. He picks up some positive yards. And as you were saying, I was listening to Kevin Bohannon this morning on the radio, and it's pretty much wide open after Valley View and Nettleton there in the 5A East.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, I have seen Batesville play Newport this year, and I think they're a better football team than they've been in the past. A lot of those guys return, and I think they've made some improvements offensively, going with a little more tempo on offense, which worked well against Newport, especially in the first half. they can make some noise maybe. I think win is always going to be a factor, just, tradition and just the physicality that Coach Toddy's team's going to play with. So, it could be interesting to see, in the 5A East as they move forward.
Yeah, and Deering there on the keeper trying to pick up the 4th down, and it's going to be, I guess they're going to move the chain, so favorable spot, but that's probably going to do it for this one. And if you're Paragould, you can be disappointed in the loss, but you can't hang your head. Like we said, you're still in a fight for that playoff spot. It's the first non-conference game, and a couple of things to build off from tonight.
No doubt. And, I know that Coach Phillips is probably wishing he had one of those timeouts back to try to give them a chance to get in the end zone.
They're going to hand it off to Burgess, and the play is made by a Valley View linebacker. So that will do it. So Valley View starts off the 5A East with a conference win, 35-0. Boys get into the end zone 5 times and force 5 turnovers, which ends up to be the deciding factor. And we mentioned pregame, key to the game. Paragould's got to get on the board, be within 2 scores at half, and control the clock, and they weren't able to do any of those 3. And the Blazers, not even their best game, but played great versus Paragould and got the win with the mercy rule.
Yeah, and fortunately for Valley View, you got the experienced offensive line. You got experienced coaching staff that kind of switched heavy run game in the second half and, finally put the game away.
Yep, and Carter Wallace, another great game from him. He's on a historic pace so far, and Taylor Heineman getting the offense going and being a great CEO quarterback. But we turn the page next week as NEA Sports Network. Me and you will get to call the Valley View and Harding Academy game, and it's homecoming for the Blazers, and that's always a big deal there in Southwest Jonesboro.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be legendary to go with the theme for homecoming this year, and I think that it's going to be a fun week at Valley View School District, and I think we're going to have a good night of football next Friday night.
Well, that's going to do it from here in Paragould, Arkansas. Valley View picks up the win for the first game of conference play, 35-0, as they defeat Paragould. Reminder, we'll see you next Friday night as Valley View hosts Harding Academy, but that's going to